I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to make fried rice. Woo, fried rice. I'm starting with, in a separate pan, I'm starting with oil in my nonstick, and I'll be cooking my eggs first because we don't want them to mix in with the rice and get it all soggy and mushy. It'll make the whole consistency not as good. I don't really know how to explain while I'm cooking as good as most people, but I mean, I know how to cook, so if you can follow the things I'm doing, that might be better. But I think, how many eggs should I do for this? This amount of rice, I'll probably do 4 or 5 eggs.
5. Yeah, do 5.
But they're going into a separate pan to cook first. And when I'm cooking these, I am not going to cook them fully because they're going to cook once I add them back to the rice as well. So I'm only trying to cook them about 75% of the way, and I'll be scrambling them. Up a little bit. Where is this burner? Right here. I'm seasoning my eggs with salt and pepper right now. They don't really need much more than salt and pepper because your fried rice is going to be getting a lot more of other seasoning like soy sauce and sriracha and a whole bunch of other flavorings like garlic and onion and all that. So your eggs themselves don't really need to be that seasoned. Salt and pepper is good.
Do you like to scramble them a little bit or no?
Yeah, I like to scramble them, but it doesn't really matter if you scramble them right away or not, because this isn't cooking very fast, but I mean, they're still mostly like this. I might actually change it to a bigger burner to get it cooking faster. Yes, I do scramble them. And I'm going to put a little bit of milk in here. A little bit more. Turn this up so it goes along faster. While that's cooking, I guess I can chop up some onion for our fried rice. I want them pretty small because I think in fried rice, no one's really looking to bite into some onion. So having them in like small little diced up cubes like this is just good, just fine. And I think that's enough onion for me. I need much more. Let this straight into my wok. And I'll continue stirring this so it doesn't burn.
And why do you need to use rice that you cooked ahead of time and it's cold?
So we cook the rice beforehand because if we don't, then the rice is all still very new and delicate, and it just breaks in the fried rice when you put it in. So putting in, cooking it the night beforehand and leaving it in the fridge makes it nice and firm and actually gives it strength in the fried rice, so it doesn't break apart and you're not eating slop. I made a mess. So the eggs are, I'd say, 75% of the way done. I'm not going to cook them much more than this. My non-stick pan is not being very non-stick right now, but I want them to be this cooked because they'll continue cooking when they're back into the fried rice. So I'm going to take this off the heat now. Clean up my mess.
And of course we'll clean it properly after.
And I'll transfer this to the heat. I'll put some oil in my pan. onion in here right now. I'm gonna put some garlic. And I'm gonna put some ginger as well. And the reason why we put our aromatics in at the start is because toasting them at the start without all the other ingredients in really helps to bring out all the flavors and scents and all that are in these really, really most important ingredients, I think. Use the back of the spoon. So I've got onion, garlic, and ginger in here right now. When I'm making fried rice, I almost never use any measurements, or when I'm cooking in general, I never use any measurements, but kind of just...
Because you have an idea.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, it kind of just comes to you. And I've been doing this for a while, so. I'm gonna let these cook.
And I'm going to stop it for now and start another video.
So these are cooking nice and it's, I don't know,
Smells amazing in here.
Smells really good in here. I think I'm gonna let these cook for another minute, but while those are cooking, I'm gonna get my rice ready to add to the wok. And kind of just a waiting game right now. Okay, we're good. The rice goes in.
Not the bowl.
Well, most of the rice. Some of the bowl. So the rice goes in, and because the rice is still very dehydrated and I'd say stale, I'm going to add some more oil. I'm using olive oil. I'm also using roasted sesame oil. And then I'm also going to put in some soy sauce. With this, I never measure. It's all taste, all preference. So start out with a little bit. If you want more, add more, add more, add more. But I generally know how much of everything I want in here, and I can adjust later on as well. So I've got sriracha, I've got sesame oil, I've got soy sauce, I've got olive oil, all this in here with, no, I haven't put this in yet.
Okay.
All this with the aromatics of the garlic, ginger, and onion. This should start bringing moisture and life back into the rice. And once that happens, we can add our vegetables and our eggs back and our chicken. I'm going to add a little bit of hoisin sauce here too, because this is sweetness. And I like, whenever I'm making my fried rice, I like to have some smokiness, I like to have some saltiness, some savoriness, some spice, and this is some sweet. So I like having a nice balance between those 5 flavors, and it tastes really good. So I'll give it that much. This is kind of like a, I'd say an Asian barbecue sauce almost. It's tastes really good. Once this cooks down, you can see the color of the rice changing, and definitely looks a lot better than it did at the start. I'm now going to add frozen peas and frozen corn. You can add whatever vegetables you want. It does not matter. It's all preference. Honestly, you can add almost everything you want, anything you want to this. And it should taste good. Now, I've got chicken that I want in here. So I'm gonna cut these up into some bite-sized pieces, and those are also gonna go in the fried rice. This is something that when you're making it, you can kind of just take anything and everything out of your fridge that you want in it, and it should end up tasting good. How many chicken do you think?
Couple more. It's a big bowl of rice. That's good.
So I got my chicken. I'll have the chicken back. So I've got my chicken, I've got my vegetables, I've got my rice. Once this heats up a little bit more, I'll add the eggs back, just because once I add the eggs, those are gonna finish cooking almost right away. They're mostly cooked as they are. And see, the reason why we cook the eggs beforehand in its own pan is, see how they're all its own shape right now? If we added them right now, it would just, the raw eggs would clump all of the rice together, and it would make a gooey, not very good tasting final product. And if you don't do it in a separate pan, do it right before, put it in a separate bowl, whatever you do, just make sure that the eggs and the rice are cooked separately and added together at the final step. That's one of the main tips I have for whoever wants to make this. I think it's about time we can add our eggs back.
That looks like one nice fried rice there.
Not fried rice.
Great. Thank you, Ryan.